This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 72-year-old man killed in St. Catherine. The police in St. Catherine are searching for a gunman who shot and killed a senior citizen at Jones Avenue in the parish on Wednesday morning. The deceased man is Harvey Clark, a 72-year-old retiree of Garden Boulevard in some city, St. Catherine. It is reported that Clark went to the Jones Avenue community outside the Spanish Town about 10:30 a.m. to deliver food to a friend. While Clark was standing outside the friend's home, explosions were heard and he was subsequently found suffering from gunshot wounds. Checks by the police who were summoned revealed that Clark was hit in his forehead and abdomen. He was pronounced dead at the Spanish Town Hospital. Education Ministry investigating incident at Oberlin High. There were chaotic scenes at Oberlin High School in St. Andrew on Wednesday morning after scores of students became disoriented and fainted during general devotion. Footage and voice notes relating to the incident have been circulating on social media. The Ministry of Education says it is investigating the incident and will provide details to the public on what transpired at the school. One of the affected students who spoke with the news said she and her fellow classmates became disoriented during devotion.
So, yeah, we were out there and we were keeping devotion, and we were keeping devotion. And they start praying, and they got into faith. The teachers got into faith, and there's a girl in 11th grade. She's a prefect of Oberlin High School as well. She got into faith, and from that, everybody started faint, basically.
Oh, so this happened during devotion?
Yes, during devotion.
So you just said, first of all, the teachers got into spirit, then a girl got into spirit.
The teachers were praying.
Oh, the teachers were praying?
Yeah.
And a girl got into spirit, and then everybody started fainting?
Yeah.
Do you know about how many students fainted, as far as you know?
To be honest, I don't have a number, but auditorium, the auditorium of the Oberlin High School, that was full. The nurse's office was full, and the agricultural lab was full. And outside, people was actually taking again and over. And then some of them, they end up having to go back to class while they were faint and all that. So
tell me something. So, do you know if anybody was hurt or anybody had to go to the hospital?
Not what I know.
A parent, Kenisha Phipps, said that she was shocked by what she saw when she rushed to the school to collect her child.
And then when I reached at the school now, I saw everybody crying, the students on the ground, seeing pastors, I was crying, everybody else was crying. Other students are getting a spirit. The security no one let everybody putting a dumb screen to come out because they're scared. No, things are not talking about because everybody just traumatized everything I go on. Everybody tries to kick other people a drop or I try to stand them to tell them to get back conscious.
Antoinette Gray, the acting principal of Oberlin High School, later sought to explain what happened at the school. She said all students and the teachers were participating in General Assembly in the schoolyard when two teachers were given an opportunity to share what she calls a word with the students. The principal further noted that she believed that some students were overpowered by the anointing and started to worship aloud. She said others had to be taken to the nurse because they could not control themselves, and some had also fainted. After General Assembly, the students went back to their classes. However, the principal says more of them were brought to the nurse as they were acting abnormally. The principal said school was dismissed at 10 a.m. due to the complexity of the issue. She provided the details in a letter addressed to a representative of the Ministry of Education. PICA immigration officers end industrial action. Normality is expected to return to the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, after the more than 50 immigration officers who took industrial action on Wednesday morning ended their protest. Staff from the Shipping, Deportation, Border Management and Extension of Stay units in Kingston had called in sick, with the protest starting about 6 a.m. However, they ended their protest after Minister of National Security Dr. Harris Chang agreed to meet with representatives of their union, the National Workers Union, on Monday. NWU General Secretary Granville Valentine told the news on Wednesday afternoon that he is happy the minister has intervened.
We are very happy to know that the minister has intervened. We, the workers, were extremely restive over some time. One of the disputes has been so long since 2018. We are hopeful and looking forward to some fruitful discussion on Monday. The matters at hand has to do with this unfair, unjust, and ethical way of interdicting persons without the due process followed, and without them having any input. People are being punished twice, where they are interdicted and losing a major portion of their pay during interdiction, which is a period of investigation, and then they are expected to be charged and tried again to be punished.
J.C. Hutchinson already sanctioned for acts of nepotism, says government. Minister with responsibility for information, Robert Morgan, says the government has already sanctioned the Member of Parliament for St. Elizabeth Northwestern, J.C. Hutchinson, for engaging in nepotism and for his actions that constituted a conflict of interest. A recently released report from the Integrity Commission's Director of Investigation, Kevin Stevenson, concluded that Mr. Hutchinson directly and/or ostensibly authorized Claudette Baker Archer, coordinator of the Constituency Development Fund, to recommend the ProStar Electrical and Construction for the award of contracts by the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. The company was to supply electrical materials and install them at the Lacovia Training Center and the Lacovia Community Center, both of which are located in Mr. Hutchinson's constituency. But ProStar Electrical and Construction is a private entity owned by Mr. Hutchinson's son, Jason. From March to August 2018, ProStar received more than $713,000. In its report tabled in Parliament last Tuesday, the Integrity Commission recommended that Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert, should implement such sanctions which are both commensurate with the seriousness of J.C. Hutchinson's conduct and inspire public confidence in government. But responding to journalists on Wednesday about possible sanctions, Minister with responsibility for information, Robert Morgan, said Mr. Hutchinson was already sanctioned from the time the allegations had arisen. Mr. Morgan, who was speaking at a post-cabinet press briefing, recalled that Mr. Hutchinson was moved from one place in the executive to another place which was lower. While the investigation took years and the Integrity Commission's report had just come out, Mr. Morgan suggested the government cannot wait on an investigation to act, so we've acted previously on the matter.
Well, the report just came out, so there's a lot more to review on the report. But we also must remember that when the matters came up very early, when the statements were made in relation to questions about Minister Hutchinson, he was sanctioned. And I think that's something that the public doesn't remember. Mr. Hutchinson moved from one place in the executive to another place, which was lower. So action was taken long ago. And at the time, the government looked at what was happening, and the Prime Minister, in his imprimatur, made decisions as it relates to the status of the gentleman. Do remember that these investigations take years, right? And we cannot wait on an investigation to act. So we've acted previously on the matter, and your research may confirm that.
More than $50 million allegedly placed in Sagicor Bank fraud. The alleged fraud uncovered recently at the Sagicor Bank reportedly involves more than $50 million and has implicated Tricia Moulton, the manager of the Ligoni branch in St. Andrew. Moulton and another employee, Malika McLeod, a personal banker, have been charged with various offenses, including conspiracy to defraud and breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act. Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony McCluckin, who heads the police's counter-terrorism and organized crime division, said Wednesday that details of the allegations will be provided when the case goes before the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court. The two workers are each on $1 million station bail and are expected to appear in court on December 9. King's Counsel Peter Champagny confirmed he has been retained by McLeod but has declined to comment on the case. It's alleged that between August and October this year, the women conspired and defrauded U.S. currency accounts, belonging to several Sagicor customers using fraudulent accounts they created. Sagicor said its management uncovered the fraudulent activities through its internal security systems. The investigation was handed over to the Jamaica Constabulary Force on Friday, October 21, 2022, and the implicated employees have been suspended to facilitate the progress of the investigation, the bank said in a statement to the news on Wednesday. It added, "We wish to assure our clients that we take the security and the protection of their assets very seriously. We constantly review our operations rigorously in order to promptly detect anomalies and liaise with the authorities to ensure that those responsible face the full legal ramifications." The statement was issued under the name Carl Williams, the Executive Vice President, Shared Services in Sagicor Group, Jamaica. It's the latest case of fraud uncovered at a local financial institution in recent months. In July, Arsenio Johnson, a retail support officer at the National Commercial Bank, was charged with larceny as a servant and the breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act and the Cybercrimes Act over alleged fraud involving at least $5.8 million. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.